What's up? I'm Tyler.
And I'm Dakota.
And this is the Bourbon and Business Podcast,
where we interview successful businessmen and women to let you in on why success doesn't have a single formula to follow.
We also have a little bourbon tasting along the way, because why not?
Why not?
So guys, please enjoy this episode and let us know your thoughts at Bourbon and Business Podcast on Instagram.
Coming to you from the Bourbon and Business Studio here at the AC Hotel in Ridgeland, Mississippi. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Dakota.
And this is the Bourbon and Business Podcast. How you doing this morning, Dakota?
I'm incredible, Tyler. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. So you want to introduce our guest this morning?
I do. Today we have special guest, Garret Wright, Executive Director of Rankin First Economic Development Authority. Garrett, that's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, and I appreciate y'all having me on this podcast. Thank y'all. I'm excited. I've been on a couple different radio shows and podcasts. I think this is probably the first time I've had bourbon involved in it, so I'm excited.
Welcome
Especially
to our
in the morning,
8 a.m.
Certainly.
8 a.m. bourbon.
Well, and you want to talk about the AC Hotel here?
I do. The AC Hotel is the premier hotel in Ridgeland, Mississippi. They have everything here. They've got breakfast, they've got lunch, they've got dinner, they've got a full bar, they've got a gym. Anytime that you need any kind of event, they have event spacing. They've got a fireplace outside, which is cool. They've got mahjong. They've got it all.
Well,
I know you're a big mahjong fan.
Yeah, I don't have no clue what you said. So, you want to tell us what we're sipping on?
Yeah, today we're sipping on Devil's River coffee bourbon.
It's appropriate for 8 a.m.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought so.
It's
It's infused with coffee and agave. So what could go wrong?
I actually had to take a second sip. So I didn't think I was going to like this, but I actually like it. It's got a decent burn to it. You definitely taste the coffee in it.
You can.
You can see the coffee in it. I mean, that's pretty dark bourbon there.
It's very dark bourbon.
So, I mean, for infused, obviously I'm not rating this like a typical bourbon because it's infused. It's got all kind of flavors in it. But for something with a bunch of flavors in it, I mean, I'd give it a 7.5. I mean,
Wow.
I think it's pretty good for infused bourbon.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but-
good. It's also an 80 proof.
Wow. So I wouldn't expect a little bit of burn from 80 proof like that. So,
I know.
well, Garrett, we appreciate you coming on this morning. We'd like to start, just kind of give our listeners your background, where you're from, and then how you got to the point of becoming the executive director of Rankin First.
Certainly. So, again, my name is Garret Wright, obviously with the Rankin First Economic Development Authority. I've been with the organization now coming up on 7 months in a few days. I'm originally from Gulfport, Mississippi. I went to school down there. I went to Southern Miss for my undergrad and master's. But ultimately, about 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago now, I moved away from Mississippi. It was a good time personally to move out of Mississippi to experience a few different states. And so I lived around multiple states across the Southeast in my career. Most recently, I've been in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with the power company out there called American Electric Power, AEP. And ultimately, I oversaw the AEP West Economic Development Team, which covered Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas. And then probably close to a year now. It took a little time for the transition. I'll come back to why. Got a call about Rankin County. Ultimately, my wife and I, we knew we want to get back to Mississippi, get closer back to family, and ultimately had an opportunity to come back to Rankin County. I think it's probably the best community in Mississippi. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah. Well, I second that. I'm a Rankin County, or not native, but that's where I live now. That's where my
Where
home
are you
is.
from?
I mean,
It changes every
yeah, I mean, I couldn't even explain it to you when I'm from. So it's in the middle of nowhere. And Dakota's from Madison County, which is also a great place as well. But tell our listeners about Rankin First. What does Rankin First do?
Yeah, so the organization's been around since the 90s. We're actually formed by legislation from the Mississippi legislature. We get to work every single day with the companies who are in Rankin County, mainly industrial-related companies, large commercial type projects, large commercial companies, and then also get to recruit new companies to the community as well. So when you see a new large commercial development, or when you see a new large manufacturing expand, or a data center, we're involved in that project. Going back many years, we were very involved in the Lakeland development with all the retail development, and then we were very involved in Trustmark Park, Bass Pro Shop, and all those type of projects. Things that are really going to move the needle for the community, that's what we get involved in.
I love it. That's so important in today's world, especially when you've got all these huge companies willing to make large investments. If you don't have a group company like specifically designated for ensuring that goes smoothly, that's going to fall apart. You've got to have somebody there to make sure it goes smooth.
Yeah, I mean, so what gets the headlines, what gets a lot of the attention is the large projects, it's the data centers. I mean, we're essentially their project manager through the whole process, and essentially we shepherd them through, and then we compete on those projects as well, because we're competing with, whether it's Madison County or Hinds County, but it's much broader than that. We're competing with Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana, because you're talking about hundreds of jobs, millions of dollars of capital investment. But we also work with the smallest companies. If somebody is creating jobs in Rankin County and capital investment, we work with them. I mean, most recently, there was an issue with a catering company who wanted to come in, was expanding their facility. So we helped them get some permitting stuff through the city. So ultimately, small and big stuff.
Well, and tell our listeners, because, you always hear people say, hey, we want this in our community or we want that. But what really is important for communities to have to draw those companies in, especially the bigger projects like you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, the projects we work on, because I think we all talk about we want the next steakhouse, we want the next white tablecloth dining operation. We don't necessarily get involved in those. But when it comes to industrial-related projects, technology-related projects, it's about workforce. Workforce is a huge thing. You've got to make sure that if they're hiring 100 people, they can actually find 100 people in the region. Now, we're not only looking at Rankin County, we're looking at 45 or 60-minute drive time. So making sure we've got the right workforce partners is extremely important. K-12 system. And then also we've got to make sure if it's a new investment coming, we've got to make sure we've got industrial sites and make sure we have shovel-ready sites ready to go for them.
And speaking of that, so Rankin First, and correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all actually already have some of those industrial sites under y'all's umbrella, correct?
We do. So we've got 2 sites under our portfolio. We've got another site under option in the Florence area called Southwest Rankin Industrial Park. Then we've got a site in Pearl, a site in Brandon, and then we're also looking to add about 3 to 4 sites over the next several years in our portfolio to make sure whenever a company comes, we've got an option for them, whether it's 10 acres or 50 acres or 100.
Got arrows in your quiver there, so to speak.
Certainly.
Yeah. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that, a lot of times we see things come into the community and everybody's like, oh, that's great. But, there are things going on in the background.
Yeah, nobody gets to see how the sausage is made, do they?
Yeah. No. Well, what was it like? So we have a lot of people that listen that, really like to get into your story and where, how you got to where you are. Mm-hmm. What was it like going from working for, you said, power company to now you're the executive director at Rankin First? What was that shift like?
Certainly a shift. Had a great experience with American Electric Power. A lot of great company. It's a great company and a lot of great colleagues. But ultimately, there's nothing quite like doing economic development in your home state and where you have passion for. Certainly a transition, but I started my career down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, doing economic development, so I knew what I was getting into. Whereas in Oklahoma, where I was one step removed from elected officials, one step removed from kind of the community aspect. And that's really what I enjoy, is getting to work closely with our community partners, our elected officials. And I'll tell you, every single day I'm on the phone with some elected official in Rankin County or a state elected official. And I didn't get to have that experience when I was in Tulsa.
That's fantastic. Tell us a little bit about how the competition part works with like other states specifically. Like what are we competing on? How can we as a community help better ourselves and help our chances?
That's a great question. I appreciate you asking. So when you're talking about an investment, whether it's 20 jobs or 200 jobs or more, you got to think about every community wants those jobs, and whether it's $1 million or $100 million, people are competing for that. And we're not just competing with our region. A few things that we've got to make sure that we do is make sure that we've got the right workforce partners in place. And what anybody can do for that is make sure that we've got a community that people want to live in. And how we talk about ourselves, how we don't disparage ourselves, talk negative about ourselves is extremely important, because you got to think, when these companies are visiting our community, they're staying in our hotels, they're eating in our restaurants, and they're asking people about what they think about Rankin County, what they think about the region. So we can't be self-sabotaging ourselves, talking bad about ourselves.
That's a great point. Something that people probably don't think about a whole lot.
Yeah, and I think you're starting to see, in Mississippi, the tide turned there, because, now, there are a lot of positive things going on here in the state. I think that we, along with some other states in the Southeast, are starting to experience growth, and we have a lot of great momentum. Momentum's a huge thing. But let's, kind of take it, back out from Rankin County and just talk about Mississippi as a whole. What are your thoughts on Mississippi and the economic development that's going on here, and then what we should expect in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, so we've got a great partner in the Mississippi Development Authority, and we've had, if you look at just the Southeast, over the last probably decade or longer has been the epicenter of most large industrial projects and investments, whether it's data centers, manufacturing projects. And I'll tell you, Mississippi sits right in the middle of that. So we are blessed to be right in the middle between Texas, Georgia, and Florida.
That nice landmass.
Nice landmass, right, geographically right in the middle. So we've got a lot to capture there. And over the last probably 4 or 5 years, you've seen a lot of success, specifically in Mississippi. Fair amount of data centers, and those are large capital investments for communities, good for tax revenue, high-tech jobs. You've also seen a lot of manufacturing projects invest in Mississippi as well. And I think because of what Mississippi Development Authority does, what many other workforce partners do in the state, we'll see that momentum continue over the next many years as well.
So Mississippi historically has been last as far as a lot of stuff, and we're changing a lot of those ratings and categorizings and things like that, which is great. But we've also historically been last to like adopt new things, new technologies, that kind of stuff, just as a state in general, as a society in general. You like the Northeast, the West Coast, like they all get new technologies, new medical technologies, all that kind of stuff. And then it kind of seems to filter down. What are these investments, or are these investments helping us to be more at the forefront of that kind of thinking, of that kind of technology, versus where we usually are of last to adopt some kind of new technology like that?
So I think when you have some of the largest companies out there, and think of the AWS projects, and you've got Avaya Digital in Rankin County, these are projects that are national. Just 2 days ago, we had Elon Musk's company XAI invest. You've got all this mindset coming in from the East and West Coast now to Mississippi, to the South as well. So I think we're becoming a strong ecosystem in that technology world. It's not only data centers, it's also manufacturing projects. You've got these companies coming in from the international space, whether it's Germany, that have invested in Mississippi. So we're seeing a lot of new mindsets come to Mississippi.
Love that.
Well, and we had Chip Pickering on, it's been several episodes ago, but he talked about how, used to be the big thing was being a port city. You're a port city or whatever, but now it's going to kind of where you sit, where the data is traveling. And Mississippi evidently sits directly in the middle of a huge, I forget, between Dallas and Atlanta or whatever area he was saying. But he also told us that Mississippi had more supercomputers than anywhere else in the U.S. What do you expect as far as, because this does scare a lot of people, AI and all the data centers that they're putting in. What do you see coming from that?
Well, I can't speak to supercomputers properly. I don't have a count on those properly, so I can't speak on that. But ultimately, whether it's AI, technology changes, it's happening in multiple states around us. You look at, there's been a lot of success in Louisiana and Alabama and Tennessee. Oklahoma's had a lot of success in this. So ultimately, we need to make sure we capture our fair share of it. But this is coming. It's not just coming to Mississippi, it's coming all over. And ultimately, we need to make sure that we continue getting these investments, capturing these investments. But again, it goes back to making sure it brings a new workforce need, a new type of workforce need. And our workforce partners, whether it's Hines Community College and many others, are stepping up to have their proper training programs to make sure that if people want to get involved in this business, they absolutely can.
Tell us a little bit about how things have changed as far as economic development since, I think this started, back in the 90s, right? Rankin First. So what has changed since then to now as far as what companies used to look for, what they look for now, how important certain things are? It feels like it's getting faster and faster.
It is getting faster and faster. I joke, to an extent, it's getting faster and faster. I joke, I worked on a project in Oklahoma and I had 2 babies during the time of that project. So now, granted, they are only 13 months apart, but I worked on that project for almost 2 years. So things are getting faster. Some projects are getting faster. But ultimately, I can't speak all the way back to the 90s, but even in the last, give or take 15 years since I've been in the business, it's getting much more competitive. So we'll start a project when we're competing on a manufacturing project. They may start looking at 100 sites across the U.S. They may open it up to all 48 states in the contiguous area, may even open it up beyond that to Mexico or Canada. And it's just getting more and more competitive on projects. I mean, they'll start with 100 sites and you're just trying to stay in the game. And that competition has only become more and more real over the last probably decade or longer. So.
Do you find that, and this is kind of like business practice question, I guess, do you find that other sites you're like, there's no way that demographic data is correct? Or can you not see their bids and things for these offers?
We can't necessarily see their information because obviously companies like to keep it confidential where they're looking. over time, when you have companies in to visit, you figure out where they're going. You may track their tail numbers of their airplanes, or they may just say conversations about what they had for dinner the night prior. Where's this steakhouse called? Where's this located at? So we'll do a little research, but we don't necessarily, it is a confidential game, so we don't know what a community is offering, what site always. We try to do our research, but it is getting much more competitive, and that is whether it is how ready that site is, how shovel ready that site is, incentives, workforce programs that community is putting forth. There's a lot of things that we don't know about our competitors. So,
what would you tell the young listener out there, or even someone that's looking to maybe go back to school and get some training? What type of training or schooling would they need to be looking into for the future, the jobs that are coming? Because you talked about, hey, do we have a workforce that's capable to do the job? What type of jobs are they going to be looking at in the next 5 to 10 years?
I mean, it's all depending on what somebody's passion is. I mean, in Rankin County, and this is in Mississippi as well, we've got Build Mississippi. If somebody wants to be in the trades, I think that's a great program because it gives you all the training for the various trades. And if you look at these manufacturing companies, if you're a skilled technician, they're paying very well. And ultimately, it could be electrician or plumbing. If that's your passion, there's a lot of money in it. And ultimately, after many years, you can stand up your own company and do very well. If you want to be involved in the compute as well as technology space, Hines Community College has a great program if somebody wants to be trained in the technology data center space. Specifically, if you want to be in economic development, which I didn't know what it was when I was going into school until after I was getting ready to graduate. Southern Miss has a great economic development program, and ultimately is one of the only economic development programs in the Southeast. So,
do you foresee that getting younger? And what I mean by that is, do you foresee, because you said like you didn't know economic development, right, when you were in school, right? Didn't even know that was an option. I didn't either until I got out of school and out of college, and I was like, what are you doing now? They're like, I'm in economic development. I was like, that makes sense. I mean, I guess you need somebody to do that. I had no idea that was even a job, right? So are we preparing the younger generations for that? Has that been changing as well in the schools? What does that look like? Because I know we have like STEM programs and things now to like make sure that like science and technology and mathematics and stuff is, you know, ever increasing, because those kinds of jobs are ever increasing, especially with AI and, you know, technology and whatnot. But what does that look like as far as for the future, the younger generations being trained up on specific versus just being like, yeah, go to school and then figure it out. Good luck.
I mean, when you're talking about economic development specifically, there's a lot of different pathways that somebody can take. You could go work for a chamber, you go work for an economic development entity. There's also international business that people get involved in, and a lot of workforce development as well. I'll say this, I think we are doing a decent job of making sure that people are aware of what we do in economic development. What we do is extremely exciting because we get to be involved in essentially any project that's looking in our community, in our region. And we talk to as many people as we can about economic development, trying to educate them about economic development. But it's still an obscure kind of career in what we do, because not many people think about there's actually a team that helps that project from the first conversation all the way until they announce and then their operation. There's not many people think about there's actually a team that helps them do that.
Well, and I think like you talked about too, you know, how people talk about the state and where they live. I think that's, you know, definitely changed. I think that people in Mississippi are excited, the momentum. I mean, there's a lot of positive things going on. So I think, you know, naturally, even it trickles down to the schools and even the youth. They're like, hey, this is a good place. Like, this is a place that I can go to college and I can live here. I don't have to move off to wherever. And I think, I mean, it's an exciting time to be here. And I think that, you know, we just continue with the momentum. But I think it's also a good time for a bourbon break.
Yeah, for sure. Devil's River coffee bourbon. Honestly, man, it was decent. Not a huge fan. I don't know why. It's just like a real interesting taste right on the tongue. Now, I do like the aftertaste. It tastes like coffee. Yeah. It tastes like I just took a sip of coffee in the morning, which is great as far as aftertaste go for bourbons, because a lot of them do not have.
You probably shouldn't use that as coffee in the morning, though.
100%. Please do not drink this like we are. And it also has a really high burn for an 80. I mean, it just kind of hits you on the nose. So, but with that, I'm going to go with 7.3.
Man, you came in under me.
I did. Yeah. What were you at?
7.5. So, do you want to let us know what the future or the next couple months and year of Rankin County looks like?
Yeah, come on, tell us about some secret projects.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you about all the secret projects.
Say it on here.
So we
Are aliens real? You can tell us.
can't answer that one. There is a whole strange phenomenon. If you look at some of these extremely people who are involved in AI, I won't even go into that pathway, but you can really go down the deep path of what these people think that are involved in AI.
Yeah.
And all these different, I won't even go there.
You for sure. You can find you a podcast for it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got those. Those exist.
Anyway, so I think in Rankin County, I'm excited about the next 6 months. There's a few different things. We've got, like I said, a few different key economic development sites. We've got some very large economic development projects looking at that. Now, we'll work 100 things in a year, and if we win 5 of them, it's been a great year.
Wow.
That's just the
Nature of the beast. Yeah.
nature of economic development. It's not Rankin County, it's not Mississippi. That's just the nature of economic development. But I'll say we've got some very large manufacturing projects that are exploring Rankin County in some pretty deep ways. And I think that's going to continue. We've got some expansions, local expansions that are going to be exciting news as well. So we continue to hear a lot about data center projects, but I know specifically in Rankin County, we've got some good manufacturing projects that we're working as well. And I'm really excited about those. Those are hundreds of jobs.
And then as far as like lifestyle, I mean, do we have anything coming? I know you got the, like the work play area. You've got, the districts here in Jackson, in Flowood, they did the right out near the community bank. Are we going to see any more development in that realm that you know of?
Yeah, what Community Bank is doing near Waterpoint, they're working on that project every single day out there. I think we'll continue to see good development there. I do know that I've been working with PRV, Pearl River Valley, to talk about options around the reservoir. And that was one thing I was shocked whenever I got here. Truly came back and explored this region before moving here. I expect we need more development around the reservoir, more higher end development. So I'm working closely with that executive director because I think that is certainly an opportunity for us to get some type of development around the reservoir.
Well, that excites me. I live on the reservoir.
Okay, good.
So, we appreciate you coming on today. We like to take this time. If somebody's listening to this and maybe they own a company and they say, hey, I want to come to Rankin County, that sounds like a great place. How do they get in touch with you and your team?
Yeah, if somebody's interested, whether it is one job or 100 jobs, we'd love for you to reach out to us. We can be visited about our website. It's called rankinfirst.com. Pretty easy. Or you can contact me directly by my email. But ultimately, I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. I'll give anybody my cell phone number because ultimately we're trying to grow Rankin County. We're trying to make Rankin County better every single day. But in my opinion, I do think it is the best community in Mississippi. And I don't think I would have moved back to anywhere else except for Rankin County.
Well, I can second that.
I cannot.
Madison's right behind us.
Yeah.
So they're right
I feel
right
like
under
we're
us.
ahead, but that's fine. That's fine. We won't go there.
Well, however you stream this podcast.
Wait, you got to get his rating.
Yeah, sorry. What's you want to give us your rating on the coffee bourbon?
Yeah, so I'm probably not going to mix it in the evening with ginger ale or sip it on ice or Coke. But for a early day, I'm going to rate it an 8.4. But I like coffee a lot.
Well, with that 8.4, I guess we will give it a 7.9.
Yeah.
That math is probably totally wrong, but it feels right. But we'll give it a 7.9. And however you stream this podcast, if you would give us a rating and follow us on social media, and we'll see you next week.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
If you have any feedback or would like to be featured, reach out to us at bourbonandbusinesspodcast@gmail.com.
Or find us on Instagram at Bourbon and Business Podcast.
Thanks again for listening.
Follow us for more content and info on the next episode.